President Masisi, how can you say you care about wildlife when you lifted the ban on killing elephants? By lifting the ban, you're condoning the culling and murder by locals and foreign trophy hunters on one of the continent's most targeted animals. Not only that, but it's ethically wrong. It's inhumane, especially where there are proven common sense means in managing the human-elephant conflict, which wouldn't cause harm to the elephants. Lifting the ban is not the answer. Killing the elephants is not the answer. How can you say you care about your wildlife in your country when you are doing this? This is not the answer. You have blood on your hands. Blood on your hands.
I wish she could sit down so I could talk to her. So the gentleman is escorting out. If you could kindly just convince her to listen, and I will talk to her and invite her to Botswana to come and see what we've done because we care. But you know, now that that has been raised, let me talk to you about it. We in Botswana have done a tremendous amount of work out of our commitment to wildlife, out of our commitment to nature, out of our commitment to environmental stewardship, to protect all our species. You might not know that. Let me give you a bit of some anecdotes. The largest lion that occurs in the world is to be found in Botswana. The largest ostrich in the world is to be found in Botswana. These are not mistakes. The largest herd of elephants in the wild, despite our semi-arid status, are in Botswana. They have been increasing. Right now there's more than 130,000 of them, and they're increasing at a rate in excess of 3%, 3 to 4%. They increased in number because we caused an environment safe enough, ambient enough for them to so do. And yes, you know, Southern Africa was afflicted by a number of conflicts, essentially liberation conflicts. And when people are engaged in liberation struggle, they do things that are not consistent with good environmental stewardship. So you have the bombs that go off here, and you sometimes have guns in the hands of people who should not have them, and you have landmines. And so what did the elephants do? They migrated. We have a lot of refugees. And they chose to go to a country that provided the sanctuary and the status of a refugee, protection, comfort, and opportunity to thrive. But you know as well as I do, the carrying capacity of any land is limited. And increasingly, year after year, as the herds increased, I don't know if you know, an adult elephant will consume up to 250 kilograms a day. As they increased, the competition for the resource of food and land space, water, went far beyond the protected areas, which are in excess of 40% of the country. And there's only 2.3 million people in Botswana. Botswana is twice the size of Nevada, about as big as Texas, most of which is desert. And you know what it means for our people? Many of whom are subsistence farmers, poor village folk, who have never fought a war in their lives, who are loyal, law-abiding citizens, who have never sought to get into anybody's way, but have spent their lives moving away to make place and peace for animals and people. Their space, their livelihood, their crops, their animals, and yes, their lives too were taken. The rate of increase of reports of human-wildlife conflict is a good measure to show this expansive movement of elephants into areas that are settled by people. Imagine if you left this convention hall and you chose to walk when you left. And 500 meters away from it, or even 200 meters away from it, in some instances 100 meters away from it, you encounter an elephant. What would you do? If you are untrained, like most of you in here are, you probably scream and try and run. The elephant is with you in a flash of a moment. If you're like the citizens of my country who have gotten accustomed to living beside elephants, they stand as still and as quiet as possible. Sure, totally nervous and wrecked they are. And if they're sufficiently trained, they will clap their hands. That's a bit of free training. And hopefully, even if an elephant were to charge, it may just retreat. That's your best chance and hope. Otherwise, once it's made up its mind, you're finished. And when elephants finish you, it's not a pretty sight. I run a multi-party democratic state. We're deeply committed to democratic dispensation. But part of democracy compels us to listen to our people and respond as wisely, as responsibly as possible. And so part of listening to our people requires that we engage with them. It's part of our DNA. And in engaging with them, we engage with them in manners that will result in the realization of our environmental commitment and policies. And so when it comes to elephants, yes, we talk to our people from a premise of wanting to do all we can to protect as many of our elephants as possible. And so we involve the communities in the management of these elephants, because they are the first line of defense and protection of these elephants. They are the ones who would, rather than cooperate with poachers or any such bandits, they would cooperate with the authorities. And yes, you do get elephants that are problematic. When a young bull elephant is going through its the elephant cycle, it can be pretty naughty. And part of being naughty is harassing anything that moves, and anything strange to it, and harassing that they destroy, and unfortunately they kill a lot of people. And so in the engagement with our communities, we have first determined that we're going to involve our communities as the first beneficiaries of any interaction with our wildlife species, elephants included. And two, we've allocated large chunks of very pristine land, primarily for tourism, to be managed by and in partnership with our communities. And for those areas that are not suitable for photographic tourism particularly, yes, there will be very controlled hunting, but not trophy hunting. We're never going to carve. Even if you look at the maximum number of elephants we're allowed to have hunted in our country as provided by CITES, which is 400, it's still way below the number required to maintain the populations. We are a country committed to the rule of law. We've maintained it, and we'll continue to maintain it. But for the rule of law to prevail, you need to enroll the population in a commitment to that rule of law. If you abdicate your responsibility and allow Botswana to be turned into a zoo, the people will become lawless. And so it's a delicate balance that you're drawing. And my golly, we're the most successful country in the world in management of elephants. So truly, anybody should come and ask us how to do it. Before the elephants become a threat to themselves, because the ecosystems alter. And one of the biggest challenges, and my dear witness would be, if she were alive, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, when they got married in Chobe National Park. It's totally changed because of elephant feeding habits. And some species, like the rare Chobe bushbuck, nearly extinct, exterminated, moved away. They're lions on the riverbank. You don't see them. And so part of the management intervention on our part is very much like you manage your risks when you sell your diamonds. Very much like you manage supply and pricing. You want to stay in business, it's called sustainability. So our intervention, the management of elephants, is really informed by a determination to be sustainable, so the ecosystems are sustainable, and the Botswana elephant continues to thrive. And I can assure you, we will continue to lead the world in the management of elephants and the population of elephants.